Hello, 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 everyone. Happy Thursday.
Hello, hello, hello.
How's it going? Mic check. Confirmed.
1, 2. Can you hear me, Cooper?
You sound great. A little low, but just lean into it,
Low in volume or low in timbre?
That you sound better now. That's great.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking into the microphone.
That's great. Look at this. How's everybody doing? Just coming off of an awesome open week. Nice last major of the year showing. What a finish by Xander.
Xander, what a year. Top 10 in every major. Just unbelievable. Good at everything. It was funny. I mean, I listen to way too many golf podcasts. I'm sure all of you do as well, but just reflecting back before the year started, and so much of the narrative was he's the best player to not win a major. Will he ever do it? Can he get past it? And to have the season that he did, almost quietly, like Scotty took so much air out of the conversation for so much of the year. And then you look back on it and just what a year Xander had.
Seriously. Perhaps, he's been battling for so long. I heard someone say perhaps the biggest beneficiary of Live is Xander so far with the competition that he's just, kind of come out and taken this leadership role and closed out a couple of majors this year. It's pretty cool to see.
Absolutely.
While we're filling in here, I want to say welcome again to everybody. Want to remind folks to enter their Links League scores. The Summer League is live now, so get those scores posted and be eligible for weekly spins, as well as the competition for season-long prizes. Hey, look at that. We got a camera turned on. How's it going, Mike? Greg, welcome up on stage. So happy to have you guys here.
Yeah, long time no Discord podium. So super excited to be chatting with the crew, especially after spending some quality time in Scotland finally at the course.
Yeah. So if you want to give us a little rundown, what have you been up to, Mike and Greg? How have things been since we've seen you?
Yeah, absolutely. So we had a blast, me and Greg over the past week, Greg Egan. We were, at Spade Bay, and it was a truly unique experience. What was so cool about this past week is that it was the club championship. So it was people who have been playing at Spade Bay for honestly, some of these folks like 4 decades. It was just unbelievable to hear the stories, folks who've seen the course layout change, 3, 4, 5 times. The stories are incredible. Me and Egan, made a point, and Bez was there as well. Egan will tell his story, but he had family there. Bez had family there. And, the welcome that we got from the local members was just incredible. So, it was, I have to admit, it was my first time on site. And, I'm fortunate that, we have such an incredible team, everybody on this call, as well as Jim and Bez and a number of other folks who, have been there numerous times and have been through the process and the initial start of the renovation and all of the wonderful things that are happening. But, so I basically got to sort of, what would I say? Like, sort of skate in and be able to, be the, beneficiary or recipient of a number of folks, sort of like gushing sort of praise and happiness for, the emergent changes that they're seeing at Spade Bay. But, so to back up, it was the club championship. It was about, I would say 50 to 60 folks, throughout the weekend. And it was a very local event. so probably only less than 5 of us from the international crew. And it was just wonderful. Like, and I think part of the reason it's wonderful is, Bert, obviously, the club pro and the head of the club, has in a very, very short time created just, I believe, both an incredible core operation, meaning, the kitchen, the clubhouse, the groundskeeping, everything is within a reasonable budget, just top notch, given the resources he has. But he's obviously native Scottish, and it's like, the guy's been living on that plot of land for 30 years, right? Like the love that the local members had for him was incredible. And so what was cool is, out of those, call it 40, 45 local members, there were actually, probably 10 people who had joined just in the last year from what they'd heard, from hearing about the renovations, and the caliber and quality of the golfers. I mean, I probably shot twice what some of these folks shot net. I mean, it was just, it was incredible. So it was really good golf, except for me. It was an incredible, good spirits. And because of the work that's been done in the clubhouse with the food and the decor, the campfire outside, the barbecue area, it was just a special time. So it was basically, I only played 3 rounds of golf. I was in northern Scotland. Could have gone all over. Played 3 rounds of golf, all of them at Spey, and then I just tried to spend 5 hours a day after the rounds in the clubhouse. And I think I probably sampled every whiskey that they have on inventory there. I'll have to. I've tweeted, actually, maybe I've shared it only privately, but a picture of the double Spey burger that they make there that literally was larger than my head, and I did finish one of them. We did a number of other incredible things, but the overarching thing was, it really did feel as if people were, really happy and receptive to us, like to me, who hadn't been there yet, and just, really optimistic about the future. Meaning, the various stages of renovation that are happening. Had so many ideas that they share with me. And Greg Egan, I think, can speak to those even better than I can, because he saw the course before any renovation started. And we lucked out. Like, they were happy. We brought great weather with us. It was cloudy one day, sunny 2 days. And again, I was the worst golfer there. And we had a blast watching the Open Championship. It was fun, and people were actually, they were rooting for Xander. They were giving us some shit for the fact that, Americans won all 4 majors. But the last thing I'll say is, and Greg can back this up, they would not stop buying us whiskey. I mean, to the point where, on Sunday we just, I would have to like sneak off to the bathroom and pour, half the whiskey away, because I was like not going to make it home the next day if I didn't. But it just felt really special. And, you can just see the happiness. I've only experienced Links, through the eyes of this, the group that spends a lot of time, on Discord, that does events, in the US, that has gotten together. And it was just so awesome to see how, we can really, really help, transform and make local clubs really special. And I'll close with this introduction with, when I say make a local club special, Bert's approach is to actually make it a hub for both golf in northern Scotland, broader Scotland, tie it into the local community, but also as a hub for European golf travel for all members. So, I think it was a really exciting thing. He's got a Turkish trip planned that I think he's going to open up, and Chris Bruce could probably talk about that to a broader group of Links members. So anyway, just, that local flavor, it's going really well. But also a springboard towards, a bunch of exciting things around European golf, Scottish golf, and a really good playbook for what we can do with the U.S. club soon.
It's awesome, Mike. And before I jump over to hear Greg and takeaway, I have been like thinking about it. It's been over 900 days since you first tweeted, "We're going to buy a golf course," right? Like, how did that feel? What was the travel like? I saw you had a sleeper car, like showing up at the course. What were your feelings there? Like being like, "I'm
Oh yeah,
finally here." Like,
dude, I was nervous. I thought, a couple people jokingly, they were like, "Where you been?" And I was like, "Hey, it took a long time to get here." But what was so cool is maybe because I'm not very good at golf right now because I'm actually playing last night before links. It was just cool, like to. It was really special to be on the land and actually, look, you watch the drone videos, you see the glamour shots. I got to tell you, and I know each one of you has felt this and talked about it, in Discord, on Twitter Spaces, in podiums. Just standing on that land, it is so special. It's like super. I mean, it was like it brought chills, and I know it did for Egan as well. We were talking about it. I've played golf at some of the best courses. I've been on a bunch of Scotland golf trips. When I used to be better at golf, and I'm telling you, the setting here and the fact that there's 50, 60 courses, within, I think 75 miles or a couple hour drive. It's a really special place that I believe, and I know Bert does, and I know the locals actually do believe can be molded into a destination. You've got some great courses coming online, right? You already have some fantastic ones up there. Baz played, Dornoch while we were there. Castle Stewart's getting another course. Like, there's so many exciting things happening in the area. You've got, the distilleries. I mean, it was so fun as we were doing the whiskey tastings, talking with the locals about how proud they were. Some of them worked in those distilleries and still do. But I just think there's a really unique culture there that we can fuse into making it a destination. But, look, I'm now getting long-winded. Back to your initial question, dude, it just brought chills. It really does look as good as the drone pics. Now, again, we got good weather. We were fortunate. And I think what made it feel extra special was the hospitality. Just I went out and I played with 6 different people over 3 days plus Egan, and a couple of the guys brought their own flasks out in the course. Unlike me in the me in Connecticut and New York, where we like bring our flask and everybody just sort of passes it around. I mean, these guys had like shot glasses they're pouring it into. I mean, it was just a professional operation. It was. So it was funny. Bert put me one day with Greg International, one day with the serious golfers, the guy who finished second, and then the last day he just put me with the gens, and we just had a blast. So just a lot of fun, and it really lived up to it from both the setting, a quality of golf, and a people situation. So I was pretty euphoric, and I think Greg can validate that.
yeah. Egan, how was your trip over? What was the experience like? I know you've been before, but how did you read the changes upon arrival as well?
Hey there. There's not wind in my ear. Can you hear that or no? Am I all clear?
You're good.
All right. Cool. Hey everybody. So I flew in from San Francisco. I was out in Scotland for I think 8 total days. Made the trip with my parents. Started the trip in St. Andrews for 2 nights. Got to play the castle course there. I was on the wait list for the old course both days, but I was, 125 on the list at 175 for, who knows, maybe 15 single slots at the most. But it was really, really awesome. That was my first time to St. Andrews. I was there for 2 nights, got the hang of the Dunvegan, a couple other, the Jigger Inn, couple other local spots. You can really feel the history, which is an amazing experience to do that. Then we drove up to Spey Bay, which was about 3.5 hours north of, maybe 3 hours or so, north of St. Andrews. Beautiful drive. You're going down one-way streets for half the time, and it's just basically back roads. It feels like all throughout Scotland. We got there, and I went out for a little twilight, 12 holes or so, and played with two kids, 23, 24 years old. And they both had not played at Spey Bay in over 10 years. I said, why'd you come here? They said, we heard that this is going to be the best course in Murray, the general northern region, in the next 5 years. They didn't know who I was or I was involved. And just hear them say that, like, that's the reason they came out, is because they heard it's going to be the best in 5 years. That was really cool. So the reputation is going around right now. And, also the understanding that they need patience, right? They wanted to come see it now so that they can go see how it evolves over time. So a great little twilight round. Next day is the first day of the club championship. Mike rolls in off the sleeper train. And that was my first time getting to see all the members again. So for background, I was there last June for the first round, made a bunch of friends. My good friend Ronnie Towns was a good buddy of mine I played with last time, and got to play with him this week. So it was really great to see the locals, and you recognize a lot of faces, and they're excited to see you. It's really cool that you get to build a relationship with people. They're 18 hours away from me, travel wise, and I got friends around the other side of the world now. So yeah, club championship. This was my getting to play the course in daylight. Apparently, it was a very rainy spring. So this was they said that this was the nicest weather that they had kind of all this year. So it's nice that me and Mike brought that overseas. So I mean, it was nice out. You could have worn, it was t-shirt. You could have wore shorts. I think Mike might have had shorts on one day. But yeah, it was calm. The first day, par 3, number 8. A lot of people say it's the most difficult par 3 in Scotland. One day I hit a 5-iron into the wind. One day I hit an 8-iron or 9-iron. It's amazing how different it plays. And both days I hit a pin high, with 3 to 4 club difference each day. But as I got to play with a lot of the locals, Ronnie, for example, is he said his mother worked at the old hotel that burned down 60 or 70 years ago. There are generations and generations. And everybody I played with said that the greens are in the best condition that they've been as long as they can remember, which is really amazing to hear. He said everybody raves about Mark and David, the greenskeepers. They have been out there every single morning, 5 a.m., sanding the greens. They said, as you go through them, there's maybe 2 greens left that have a little bit of moss growing in them, but everything's, rolling so smoothly. They're really looking beautiful. World of difference. Bunker lines are looking super crisp and clean, which is really amazing to see. You're starting to visually see the course and how it looks in reverse. I think one thing that the architects said when we got to visit them last year was they spoke about, these fairways are absolutely stunning pieces of earth, and half the course is covered in gorse, and you get to unveil what the earth really looks like under all these acres of gorse. So you get to see a lot of the gorse that got removed, and just this beautiful ground that's going to be these approach shots in reverse. So I'd say there's probably about 8 greens or so that are fully ready to be reversible if there was grass growing. They've had a little bit of trouble from the rainy winter that the seed hasn't been sticking. You're starting to see it just start growing out after the last 2 weeks. So it sounds like they've gotten some good progress. So I think they did what was called hydro seeding on the ground to try to get that seed to stick. But I think it was just getting washed away from such the rainy spring. So yeah, these approach shots are looking really beautiful. I'm excited to see how that grass grows out. Let's see, what else can I tell you about the course? Oh, number 6, which is a big dog leg left. That is looking dramatically different. It's going to be really interesting to see how the layout on that side of the course changes. So that's feeling really different. They have a couple new tee boxes. There's a great new tee box, I think, next to 4 green, just to the left of that, and that is the highest point on the property, where there's going to be this really amazing tee box that you just get a 360 view of everything. And my imagination was running wild when you're standing in that tee box. You could play to almost 5 different greens on the course, maybe 6 different greens. As when you start imagining what different alternate routings you could fool around with, that's an amazing location of a tee box, and maybe the best view on the property as well, just from an elevation perspective. So the course is playing really great. Now I guess I'll jump into to Bert. Bert is an incredible man. That guy, I'm not even sure if he's been there 9 months now. Probably maybe around that timeline. The members love him. He's running a first class operation, everything from hospitality to building an amazing greens team. You know, as Mike said, he's organizing trips for the members everywhere. I think he showed us a spreadsheet he was maintaining of all the discounts he's gotten Links members in Scotland, which is like £12,000 he saved people from reciprocal agreements, which is really amazing to see. You know what he's doing for Scottish travel right now. I think we talked a bit about the handicap of the course right now, top 100 rankings, things like that. And it was really interesting to hear his perspective on a lot of that. Is you only get one shot at this every 3 years to go to the course rankers or go to the handicap system and say, come out and re-handicap this course, or make us a top 100 course in Scotland. And he was very intentionally saying that he doesn't want to go pull some favors and get on these lists until he's confident in where this course is, which is probably, still 1 or 2 years away, I presume. But I'll be returning in about 7 weeks for the member guest. By the time I get over my jet lag, I'll be getting back on the plane to go back. It was really amazing to watch the Open on Scottish time zone. I've never done that before. Usually I'm getting up at 4 a.m., drinking coffee and watching the final stretch coming in.
Can you tell the team about your? Can you tell the group about your UK or sort of Scottish pool capabilities?
Repeat that one more time, Mike.
I'd love to hear a little bit about how you operate in a Scottish pool table.
Yeah. Okay, so the pool tables in Scotland, there's no numbers on any of the balls. There's only 2 colors. They're smaller balls and they're smaller holes. I'm not a very good pool player to begin with, but make everything smaller and it's like 10 times more difficult.
Now, he's so bad that I haven't played pool in probably 12 years. And he was leading me by 6 balls? And he did not win. It was just a stunning sequence of events.
We may have been 16 whiskeys deep at that point as well, but I'm not going to pull that excuse right now.
Fair, cumulatively.
But yeah, clubhouse is looking beautiful. There's all the memorabilia on the wall, trophies everywhere. If you haven't seen the club championship trophy, it's a beautiful trophy from the UK Prime Minister in 1919, I believe. And you're seeing this course, man. It's got history, which is really unique, and it's not just history from many different people from all over the world, but like these people have been there for generations.
Exactly.
So yeah, clubhouse is looking beautiful. Food was great. It was a wonderful time.
And speaking of traditions and generosity, both Greg and myself were gifted by the gentleman Graham, who finished second in the club championship. He's won it 17 times previously. We were both gifted Scottish, beautiful pewter flask filled with some of the finest whiskey in Scotland. He used to be a master distiller. Just because he enjoyed playing around to golf with us, and he's a really nice guy. And so, I brought that home and already gifted it to my son. He doesn't know why it says, Graham's name on it. So I just say, hey, that's part of the Scottish tradition. But just the beauty is there's so much history, so many incredible people, and they're really welcoming and kind and generous.
Yeah. And then I'll just kind of recap the end of the trip. Drove down to Edinburgh for 2 nights. Went to the Golf Tavern, which was founded in 1457. Played this course called Brunthurst. And it's a public park, 36 holes for free. The longest hole is 90 yards. And it was just a massive public park, and kids and parents and grandparents would just go out there with one club and one ball, and they just play free public golf, and it was a beautiful thing to see. Just everybody out there having fun, whether you're good or bad or old or young. It was the type of thing where I'm like, man, why don't we have this in America? Just kind of the chance to grow up and just get out and whack the ball for free with a pint in your hand. But that was really a cool experience just to kind of see that's how the Scottish grew up with public golf.
And how did your parents enjoy it, Greg? I mean, it seemed like they were just living it up and loving it.
Yeah, it's a great place to bring the parents. I'll say that. It's kind of it's choose your own adventure. You see castles, you see old history. My parents aren't as active as they used to be from just a walking and perspective, but they were on the sea. They walked down to the dolphin exhibit. They went to Elgin. They went to a castle, a historical fair. They went to the Spey Fest, which is a Scottish music festival. Just small local things, and the biggest challenge is just driving on the other side of the road for them. But they had a great time. They can't stop raving about what Bert was doing there, and they just sat around talking to the locals. You only understand 50% of what they say, but it's a great time listening to them the entire time. So yeah, it was a great weekend with the parents. Something I'll never forget.
Yeah, that's awesome, guys. That's really great. Club Championship was a success. We're definitely going to have a lot of folks out there for next year. Hopefully, I'll be able to join you guys for the Club Championship. So, Greg, you're going back for the member guest in September. Is that right?
Yeah, September 2nd.
Cool. So if anybody's interested in, you guys have some golf booked in that, feel free to ping Greg about that trip. And we've got the Ryder Cup coming up in October, which should be really cool. We already have a team of Europe and US, and we're going to expand that out. It's going to be really, really fun.
I told USA. Bert to do President's Cup. So to add a, Eurasia or an Asian and South African contingent. So I think there'll be 3 teams.
Nice. That'll be awesome. That'll be really good. Are you going to be back out for Ryder Cup, Mike?
So I am going to try my absolute best. I told Bert this, but I have 6 trips. So being a crypto VC, I'm going to be all over the place, for the next 6 months, and I will try my best.
All right. Well,
I'm trying to link it up with a European trip. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be great. If not 2025, we should be playing some more reversible holes.
Yeah, and Solstice. Yeah, Solstice. I regret missing that this year.
Mike, you got to start training now to keep up with myself and Mr. Senor for Solstice 25.
Right? You're doing 100. There's no chance. I'll need a cart, but or a scooter.
Well, we're definitely gonna pick a charity. I sent a link to Mr. Senor today of somebody actually raising money for walking 100 holes. We neglected to do that. To think that maybe we should plan around that, but maybe next year we can set up for a good cause and get out and play as many holes as we can.
Absolutely, I will definitely donate to that.
Awesome. Well, feel free to raise your hand, come up on stage if you have any questions for Mike or Greg about Spey or anything else. We've got the Ryder Cup happening. If you have any questions about that, you can ping myself, Chris, Bert in the chats as well. With that, we've got signature events. We just had on Monday, I think, Quaker Ridge, and we've got a couple happening here in August. C. Bruce, are we still looking at a spot at Kingsley Club?
Yeah, basically everything is sold out except I think a couple spots at Kingsley Club. We do have a bunch coming up. I'm excited for all the ones we did just do Quaker Ridge. We've got a bunch coming up in August. A couple slots at Bayonne and Hollywood, Kingsley Club. Some really awesome courses coming up. So yeah, if you're interested going to be anywhere near Michigan, it's going to be an amazing opportunity. And word on the street is Spey Bay's own architect, Mike DeVries, who's also the architect of Kingsley Club, may be in town as well. It's in his hometown. So definitely going to be a good time.
Awesome.
Ooh,
That's way cool. I saw some pictures of Traverse City, the beaches out there in northern Michigan in summer. It looks like just an awesome spot. So that should be really great. Another update, we have added, what was it, Mr. Senor? A net 17 courses, right? To keep an eye out for an email for pro and global members. World Vantage has added a few courses.
That's right. New locations, a couple existing locations, but like I said, keep an eye out for an email. If you ever have any questions, just reach out.
Good stuff there. Anything else on that front before I'll pull up the wheel of names here, but I think we have some products and Clubhouse updates. Is that right?
Yeah, just real quick. So we actually soft launched the patio outside of alpha yesterday. So for the last month, the alpha chat has gotten first crack at using the new social network, new social feed in Clubhouse. As of yesterday, whenever you log into Clubhouse, you're just going to see it on the left-hand side bar. It's called the patio. Again, this is very much in beta. We've been building this incrementally because we want to see how it's used, and we want to hear from you what features you would like to see. Immediately, I started getting messages from Chris with some really good ideas of things that he wished it had. So we have a roadmap, and basically how often people advocate for those features are the things that we'll probably prioritize. But for now, you can see the feed, you can post to the feed, you can react to other people's messages, you can comment, basic sort of social feed kind of stuff. Definitely check it out. Even if you just use it once and hate it, would love to know that. But would love to see people using it and get some conversation going in there, and as a community figure out sort of what we would use this for. A lot of interesting ideas. You can now post your Links Leagues rounds to that so you can get those more visible and people can react to them. We have a lot of ideas on how to integrate rewards into social stuff, also groups and different types of feeds, but would really love to hear your ideas as you use it. Feel free either just to comment those in Patio itself or put those in Discord, and I'll see them and we'll prioritize those as we go.
Awesome. Stoked to see that going out and approaching beta for everybody.
Hey, Coop, I have one more thing to add in about my trip.
Yeah.
Just as I was kind of observing when Bert was telling us about how much money he saved. So I'll be going back in September, and I booked all the courses through Bert. So I was doing the math. It's going to be, six of us. We're going to be playing Brora, Nairn, Tane, Cruden Bay, Spey Bay, Murray Old, Cullen, this incredible list, 3 of the top 100 courses, in the 2 in the top 100 of the world, probably 3 or 4 in the top 25. And I did the math on it, and I'm pretty sure that because I'm bringing 6 buddies, I definitely broke even on my Spey Bay membership through that. It was pretty awesome to do the math. It's just like me and a group of buddies going, getting the discount across the group. So as I was thinking about it, like, this is absolutely the best international Scottish membership out there right now. And it's just amazing to see how it keeps kind of growing. And financially, it was definitely a success for me for initiating and getting my money's worth in one trip with all the boys.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest. I'm separately, a couple of my buddies from business school are trying to plan a trip, and I'm putting them in touch with Bert because, like, it's of course they have to, become Spey members, but like, he's better than the local tour guides that people are paying thousands of dollars to work with. Like, he's just amazing. He knows, like, it feels like half the pros, and from Scotland to Northern Ireland to Ireland to UK.
Yeah, the relationships, and talent for setting that stuff up are one thing, but it's also just such a great guy to talk to and work with too, which makes it just all that much more special. So
this is what happened to me. I was just like, oh yeah, I'm going to go play all these other courses, and just wanted to sit in the clubhouse and chat with them.
It's great. Yeah, we skipped a couple other courses when we were there to just play Spey and hang out there as well.
Yeah. Not even that, not even just golf. He started coordinating whiskey distillery, visits. He was
fly
telling
fishing,
me salmon fly fishing. fly fishing, which I might cancel a golf day with the boys to go fly fishing, and it's just like, these are the type of things that you don't get this from a normal customer service representative on a tour company.
Certainly.
Yeah. What's funny is it puts the US course pro, that bar is high.
Bar is very high.
I know see Bruce with the interviews and the conversations. We'll have to bring Bert in on that interview process, right?
Another cool thing I'll mention about what Bert can do is, I know a lot of people have experienced this, where if you were putting in this through some tourism agency, then it's either with your group of friends or by yourself. He'll also make connections between members. So if you haven't already met someone in Discord and you're going over there, like we had somebody come over when we were there completely by himself, and Bert made that connection with us, and we played a bunch of rounds of golf together. So if you're worried at all about not knowing people, Bert can also be the glue between members if that's what you want, which is a really special experience. So just wanted to pile on there.
I had one member offer a caddy at me at Cullen just because he wanted to walk the course with me. I was just like, love this. I would love to have a local caddy. But, they just want to hang out. They're great people. Yeah. I think it can probably be intimidating to go alone, but
yeah, definitely. If you are booking a solo trip, post in the Discord, you'll find somebody who wants to go with you in this group. If not, you've got a family over there, right? They're all Links fam just as much as anybody who's been here since day one. So it's just awesome that relationship that we've had. And yeah, like you said, Mike, looking forward to having that replicated for the US course. Not too many major updates on that front. You saw Jim's note this past week, which went out via email. Still making progress, still having conversations on that front, and we will, of course, update you all as that progresses.
Yeah, and it reminds me of look, I haven't been on one of these spaces in a while, but if you all remember, we said, look, we're working really, really hard on the course, and we're going to deliver. And yeah, I think there are probably moments where people are like, are they really going to deliver? And I really feel like, having been there in person and just seeing what's happened, not just the purchase, but the renovation, the follow through, the hiring, the vibe with the membership, and then the future plans, the team delivered. I have extreme confidence about what we're planning to do based on what I know, with the first US opportunity. So I'm really excited.
Awesome stuff. Stoked as that will progress, but without further ado, it's time for the Wheel of Names. Let's spin and get a winner here. All right. Congratulations, Freak, on the win. We will get you your Links points, and then I almost forgot to check the player of the week. It looks like JP Curls, winner of the Spring League, came in with 19 points. An impressive showing. That's got to be unsustainable. That baseline has got to be dropping pretty low for JP Curls on that front. But awesome stuff. Continue to post your scores for Links Leagues, and we will keep drawing those weekly. Invite your friends. It's open to everyone. You don't have to be a member to participate in Links Leagues. It's just an awesome way to connect and compete.
Mr. Senior, are you going to the Bitcoin conference this week, by the way?
Yeah, it's funny. It's just down the street from me. It's honestly, I wasn't planning on it. Are you going?
I'm not. My partner Aaron is there, Six Man Ventures. So I'm gonna. Cool. Can I hook you two up? He's awesome.
Yeah.
He lives in Chicago from Texas. You guys will love each other.
We can get away from downtown. We can.
Yeah. No, you'll find a special place. But
yeah.
I figure it's a zoo there this week.
Yeah, it'll be crazy for sure.
Cool.
Well, good stuff, y'all. Thanks again, Mike and Gregan, for stopping by. Always fantastic to spend some time with you guys here in Discord. And we'll be chatting a lot more in the coming days and weeks.
Thanks, guys. I've got some open tea times if anybody's going to the member guest at some other courses. So hit me up if you want to come join.
Yeah, guys, I have to just like Greg Egan, it just embodies the absolute like wildest, best, most open-minded like member I've ever met in my life. So honestly, I wasn't thinking about going to like the member guest, but I may fly back just to hang out with Egan. So highly recommend if you're fortunate enough to be in the Bay Area or anywhere where he is, spend some time with him.
As long as they restock the bar before we go back.
Absolutely, they need to. We may have to bring some over. We'll hit the Tesco on the way up.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for stopping by for Community Thursday. We'll be back here next week. We'll have a 3M watch party as well here in the Discord. As always, we'll see you in the chats.
Thanks all.
Thanks, y'all. Appreciate it. Talk to you.